Hello everybody, my name is Phythodas and here we have my first build after Forgotten Gods expansion came out. This is the Acid Sentinel Shielder Thrower build. I was going to write here in the name Thrower, but there is a limitation on how many letters you can use for the name of your character. So, Acid Sentinel Shielder it is. This build is all about retaliation damage. I had this set from an old build of mine, Retaliation build, before Forgotten Gods come out. Of course I had this set, the empowered version of the set, the complete set. I had it in this other character, and after the expansion came out I decided to go with Retaliation because I like very much this set and also Retaliation damage. And I wanted to see what Retaliation build I could do with the new Oathkeeper Mastery in this new expansion. So here we are. This is a Retaliation damage build. We try to stack as much as possible, mostly Acid Retaliation. We stack all types of Retaliation if possible, but mostly Acid Retaliation. This is something like a preview build guide. It is not the final build guide because this is still a work in progress. I'm still trying to fight, for example, the mythical version of the set. I have only found this item. There are 4 more items to fight, the mythical versions for the set to be complete. I have only this one. When I find all of these items and also some of the upgrades of the rest of the item slots, then I will make a new build update for this build video, a new update video, and let you know what is going on when this build is completely optimized with the best versions of the items. You can consider this build guide to be just a starting point for you if you are looking, if you are interested about playing something very similar. Take this build as a starting point, have something to look forward to work to fight some specific items if you want to do that, and then after that we will see. When the time comes we will have another build guide video. This is just a preview. For this build we play with the Absolution set, which is the empowered version of this Retaliation Acid Retaliation set, which consists of the chest armor, the helm, the shield, the shoulders and the gloves. We also use the best legs that we can find for such a build. For now I have this item, Bone Shatter Threads. I use this one for the resistances mostly that it provides, and also the grudge skill is good enough to have. Of course I have the Mark of the Traveler component for health, regen and movement speed and slow resist. I use the Mythical Thorn of Mystic Glade. This is a great item for this build. It is a perfect item for this build because it is a retaliation item, it is also an acid item, and it is also the mythical version. So I think that for this slot I will go for the final build with this item, unless something changes in the future. Maybe I can find something even better, who knows, we will see. Here we have the mythical Mark of the Forbidden. Once again, this item is a great item for this build because of the stats that it provides. Acid damages, vitality damages, very good resistances, also some damage to Righteous Fervor skill, and also it grants the skill Toxic Gas Cloud, which is again a poisonous skill, which also causes targets to miss their attacks and hits on your character, which is very important for survivability. Here we have the sword Pandemic. This is once again a very powerful sword, a very good sword for this build. It is a perfect item for this build. It fits perfectly in this build. It provides you +2 to summon Guardian of Iberian, which is a skill we are using already. It gives you acid damages, so defensive ability, which is super important for this build because we are trying to get hit by enemies, actually melee attackers, so defensive ability is very important. And we get some other good things for skills like Drig's Evil Eye and Summon Guardian of Iberian. And of course I have attached the component for now, Mark of Drig, which gives even more acid and poison damages, but I use it also for the 10 reduced targets resistances for 5 seconds. Hit your enemies with this one, their resistance is getting reduced even further and you deal more damage to them. which is great. Here we have the mythical various corner leg plates, one more great item for this build, the retaliation item. This is a pure retaliation item and also it comes with acid damage boosts. So it is a perfect item for this build. And it is also the mythical version. Of course later, if I can find other items for this slot that would give maybe even better survivability along with some damage output for this specific build, maybe I will replace this one, but for now it is great. Here we have the Ring Mythical Life Giver Signet. I use this one mostly for the survivability that it provides, but also it gives +2 to summon Guardian of Empyrean, this skill down here which we already use, so yeah. It is a great item to have. Also the attack damage converted to health helps very much, because we hit enemies and we take back health. It is super important once again for survivability, so this is a great item at least for now. Here we have the Cutthroat's Violet's Ring of Renewal. This is a mastery frequent, it drops from the minor boss Violet. It also provides some good stats for our build. It is a level 70 item. The stats are very nice for level 70. It also gives +2 to Path of the 3 skill which we use. It is an aura skill. But of course, this is a placeholder. Actually, I plan on replacing this item in the future with something better. Here we have the Avenger of Cairn. This is also a great item. I use it, of course, for the survivability that it provides, but also the skill that it grants actually. It gives even more physical damage retaliation and also all retaliation, which increases our damage output. But still, the damage, this item is here mostly for the survivability that it provides, and secondly for the retaliation damage. And we have one more item to talk about, which is the Citadel. I chose to go with this one because it is a great item. It provides also shield block chains, health, physique, survivability and retaliation damage. And also the Citadel skill that it provides is very good because it gives even more survivability. And also retaliation, which increases even further our retaliation effects, attacks and all of these things. These are the items. Some items are placeholders, some other items are here to stay for good. Of course, I mean the types of items, of course for this I will never replace this set, for example, from this build. The only thing I will do is to fight the next tier of this set. This is the empowered tier. I plan on fighting the mythical tier and equipping the mythical tier of the same set here. This is here to stay for good, I guess. This is here, I guess I will keep this one forever here. There are also some other mythical relics very good for this build, but I chose to go with this one. I will show you in a while why. And yeah, this will probably stay here. For the skills, we play Occultist and Oath Keeper. I use only 2 points here on Drink Civil Eye. I use 3 points here. Nothing important here. I don't really use this skill to deal so much damage, especially in ultimate difficulty. This damage is insignificant. I guess later I will take these points from the skill. I will only have 1 point here and 1 here, and I have 1 point here. This one is getting doing enemies having a reduced physical damage amount for 4 seconds. This is why I use it. I cast it on enemies. They get this effect from this one, and now they deal even less damage at you, at your character, which is great for survivability. And I have 5 points here. This one gets the 7% of retaliation damage added to attack. It is not a big amount, but it is still an amount that this build is getting, this skill is getting from our build. We stack on retaliation as much as possible, and then this skill gets the benefits from stacking this retaliation damage. Of course, at level 5, this number we can see here, the 2752, is not the actual number. This is the number when we don't have our skills ready. If we activate our skills that provide even more retaliation damage, let's activate all of the skills. These are the skills that are constantly active, unless we die, of course. Now, we can see that the damage goes up to 4689. So, as you can see, this skill now deals even more damage because it benefits from the retaliation damage that we stack. And the same also happens of course with other skills. Now, for this mastery we use also Curse of Reality, which is super important, and the vulnerability, which is super important because it reduces the poison and acid resistance of our enemies. This is an acid and poison damaging build, so you can see that casting this one on enemies and then hitting them with our acid damages, yeah, they receive even more acid damage and they die faster, so this is why we use it. Here we have the Blood of Drink, a great item, and here we have the aspect of the Guardian. I will max out these two skills in the future. This one gives you physical and poison resistances, and also it boosts your acid damage and vitality, things like that, and poison. This one gives you survivability, offensive ability, acid damage, and also acid retaliation, which stacks of course with the rest of retaliation you have, and you deal even more damage. So here we have 4689. When we activate this skill, let's activate it, we get some retaliation, it goes up to 4781. Now for the Oath Keeper. In Oath Keeper we play Presence of Virtue, very important skill. Haven, very important skill. Rebuke, very important skill. We have some points on resilience, maybe we will put more points in the future in this one. We play with Ascension, very important skill, and some points on Clarity of Purpose. I don't know why, but this one, the name of this skill reminds me of the agent of the Matrix. The agent, you know, the one that Neo was fighting against all the time. Let's not talk about this one for now. We use a Use of Menhir. This is a very important skill. This is a main skill for this build. Of course, it deals damage, physical and acid damage, and also it stuns targets. We have this one maxed out for because now with this one maxed out it affects up to +4 targets, 5 targets overall, and also the critical damage getting increased, so of course the meter radius of the skill. We use this one, as you can see, 18% retaliation damage added to attack of this one, and also we get the fire damage 100% converted to acid damage. So instead of physical and fire, this skill now deals physical and acid. This is an acid build, so we want this one. And we have this skill here. This is a great skill for the chance of skill cooldown reduction, for the retaliation damage added to attack, and also for the skill energy cost. We have the Summon Guardian of Empyrean, 100% fire damage converted to acid damage and physical to vitality. Now these guys also deal with acid damage, which is very important. And here we have poison and acid resistance. They also debuff our enemies. And of course, let's not forget that we have the Path of the Three, a very important aura skill, which increases damage types, acid, all of these things. Fire damage converted to acid damage, physical converted to acid damage, and also 13% skill cooldown reduction, which is super important for the build overall. Now for this one. Actually, I played this character is level 90. Up to level 88 I wasn't using this skill, not at all. This, my left click mouse button was weapon attack. It is a new weapon attack. There was no skill, no righteous fervor. Why did I do that? Because usually I do not try to hit my enemies with melee attacks. I hit my enemies with melee attacks only when they come in front of me and hit me and I don't have any other attacks available to use, then I hit them with my melee attacks. But usually up to level 88 I was trying to avoid hitting my enemies with melee attacks, and I was killing all of my enemies of course with the Use of Menhir, with in the combination with the Drix Evil Eye, in combination with the powers of these guys, and of course my retaliation damage, which this build is after all a pure, I could say, retaliation damage build. Melee attackers hit me and they die because they hit me. Rager attackers die because we hit them with rager attacks like a Use of Menhir or Drix Evil Eye, or these guys, melee guys, hit them. And as you can see, this is how I was playing up to level 88. But then I decided to try the skill, so I put some points here. And we have the Righteous Fervor. It is a powerful skill, very powerful skill. If you go to play this build, maybe you should try and start using this build from the beginning. I didn't do that, and I do not regret it, because even without this skill here, I had no real problems. The build is very powerful even without a skill here. This skill here, or even without a skill here, just the weapon attack. Just put your weapon attack here, and you can destroy content in normal, veteran, elite, and also ultimate difficulties. This is a very nice skill. It increases your damages, burn physical damage boosts. It applies some acid and vitality decay damages. With this one we convert fired physical damages physical to acid fired vitality. We have this one, which is very nice actually, because it gives survivability and attacking speed. And we have this one, which again gets the benefit from retaliation damage when we stack it. So for the devotions now, I will show you just the devotions I'm using. I'm using Scarab. It gives retaliation here and some shield things and survivability. Stag. It gives physical bleeding damages, things like that, retaliation, defenses. Hound. It gives lots of retaliation damages and survivability. Panther. It gives offensive ability, critical damage, all damage, things like that, survivability. I use the Shield Maiden, which is super important because we play with the shield. It helps very much with survivability, and also it gives lots of physical damage retaliations and things that have to do with shields, like block chest and block damage. We use the Obelisk of Menhir. This is super important again because it gives lots of retaliation damages and also other defensive things, things for your shield, like block chest, things like that. It also gives the Stone Form skill, which when triggers, it provides lots of defenses, survivability, and also retaliation damage, all retaliation damage. I have applied this one to Path of the Three Aura. And down here we have the Anvil. This provides some defenses, things like that. And of course it provides the Targos Hammer. 33% chance on block to trigger. And when it triggers, it gets the benefits from stacking retaliation damage. As you can see, retaliation damage added to attack up to 9000 damage plus. And it also did some physical damage, internal trauma damage, and also stuns targets. This is very good because it is a hammer that it spins around your character when it triggers. And you can have more than one hammers, of course. You can have up to 2 or 3 hammers. I don't know if there is a limit, but anyway. And when they activate it, you have melee attackers next to you hitting you. This one also hits the melee attackers. They receive damage from everything and also from this skill here included. And they receive more damage and you kill them easier and faster. We have the Wolverine here because of retaliation damages and defenses and things like that. And here we have the Murmur. I use this one because again we get defensive acid damage, things like that, defenses, and also we get the Rumor skill. I have assigned this one to the Drix Evil Eye because if you assign it to Drix Evil Eye, it has 63% chance on attack to trigger, which means when you cast Drix Evil Eye skill, there is a 63% chance for this skill to trigger. If you assign it, for example, to Curse of Reality, it has a 15% chance to trigger, not 63. The same on Aegis, 39%, not 63. Righteous Fervor, 15%, not 63. So we put it on Drix Evil Eye and we have 63% chance on attack to trigger. And when it triggers, it deals some damages as we can see, but it is a debuff, a very nice debuff, which debuffs the offensive ability of enemies, cold resistance, and also poison and acid resistances. These are the constellations. Now, these are for now. Later, when I find... there is a line here. Can you see this line here? There is a line here too. Anyway. Later, when I will equip the best versions of the items, the set, the mythical set instead of empowered, I will see what I can do with resistances and other types of damage. and of course I will make adjustments to the build, to the setup. This is the build for now. This is a very powerful build. Even with the empowered version we kill very fast enemies, melee attackers that hit us, even minor bosses or even some big bosses die fast enough. With the empowered version, I'm talking about ultimate now, they die fast enough. For example, the boss Karos there in this area. Where is it? Here, the Dark Veil Gate. In this area there is the boss, the main boss Karos, however they call him. And this boss hits you with melee attacks. When it hits this build with melee attacks, it receives a very nice amount of damage back. And we kill that boss very fast. So, it is a very powerful build. This is a build guide preview. Actually, the optimized build guide will come in the future after I can fight the mythical versions of this set here, and of course mythical versions of some other items. Maybe this one. This one doesn't have any mythical, I think. It is level 84. But anyway, maybe some other items, and some other items get replaced with other items, and we will see what happens also with the skills. Some skills will get some different setups. We will change some things in the future. For now, this build is very powerful and it is very, very satisfying, and actually it has already become my top favorite build in this game. I am a melee guy when it comes to action RPG games. I always prefer melee combat. My favorite builds are melee builds. This is not a melee attacking build. Actually, it is a melee build, we could say, melee combat, but not melee attacking. It is melee receiving build, something like that. Because you want your melee attackers to hit you so they die fast. This is a faster way to kill melee attackers with this build. Anyway, guys, I have already made some live streams with this build. I will make even more. I will make more videos about this build. It is my top favorite build ever right now in this game. And I will see you very soon with more live streams of Grim Dawn and also videos in general. Also, if you haven't yet watched the conversions guide video, I will put a link in the description. If you are interested to learn very deep mechanics of how conversions work in this game, Grim Dawn, maybe you should take a look at that video. And I will see you very, very soon. Have fun with this game, it is amazing. Forgotten Gods is a fucking masterpiece. Grim Dawn Forgotten Gods overall is a fucking masterpiece. Enjoy this game.